Pranam. Let's move to episode 3 Great Worship by Tribal Bhilne. A pair of tribals, Bhil Bhilni, used to stay in a forest. One day, a Jain Muni came to the forest. Muniraj explained the importance of Jin Puja to them, due to which the heart of the Bhilni got filled with bhakti. She started doing puja of Rishabdev Bhagwan situated in the forest. Her husband interrupted her. You silly woman, this is the Bhagwan of the trader community. Why should we do his puja? Become a little smart and stop this puja. She did not listen. In a few years, she died and was reborn as a princess in a nearby city. One fine day, she was sitting near the window. She saw the tribal walking down the road and she gained Jati Smaran Gyan. She called her husband from her past life and gave sermons to him. She explained to him the state of Purva Bhav and made him a believer of Jin Puja. After her death, she went to Devlok and Bhil also saved his soul. Moving on to the next story, Prabhu Bhakt Jagad. Jagad was the son of Hansa Raja Dharu of Mahua. One fine day, he went for the yatra of Siddhachal Tirth. Chadhava of Tirthamala of Emperor Kumalpal Sangh was going on. 4 lakh, 8 lakh, 12 lakh, the Chadhava increased slowly. 14 lakh, 16 lakh, 20 lakh. Meanwhile, Jagad surprised everyone by saying 1 crore 25 lakhs. People were stunned after hearing this figure. Everyone started to look at Jagad, who was wearing soiled clothes. Emperor Kumarpal instructed his ministers to inquire about Jagad. In the meanwhile, Jagad came forward and removed a ruby costing 1 crore and 25 lakhs and handed it over to the Emperor Kumarpal. On seeing such a radiant ruby, he asked, "From where did you get such a wonderful object?" Jagad replied, "Emperor, my father had done business in other countries via sea route. He earned a lot of money and returned. Due to the Viradna that took place owing to his foreign travel, his mind became distressed. Out of his earnings, he purchased 5 rubies worth 1 crore 25 lakh rupees each, handed them over to me and instructed me to offer 1 ruby to Dada Rishabdev at Giriraj, 1 to Bal Brahmachari Shri Girnar Mandan Shri Neminath Bhagwan, 1 ruby to Chandraprabhu Swami at Chandraprabhasa Patan, and the rest of the rubies can be used for living. Emperor, as per my father's wishes, I have offered 3 rubies at the 3 places respectively. I have 2 rubies for myself, out of which I am dedicating 1 for Sangmala." On seeing his generosity, everyone's heads bowed down. Emperor Kumalpal Sangh departed from there and reached Girnar. Even over there, he took the Chadava of Tirthamala and offered the rupee worth 1 crore 25 lakhs. Well done, Jagad. Your mother and father are blessed to have a son like you. Moving to the next story, Stone or Hair. Vimal Mantri and Sri Devi. This couple started the construction of a Jinalay on Abu, but there was a major problem. Whatever construction would be completed during the day would get demolished at night. Vimal Mantri did a thumb up and summoned Ambika Devi. He requested her help to resolve this issue. Devi replied, "Vimal, your fate is sealed. You will either get stone or hair, meaning Prabhu Mandir or a son. If you want the temple, then you will not get a son." After listening to her, Vimal began thinking. He said to Devi, "Mother, I will have to ask my wife Sri Devi about this matter. I will ask her and give you an answer." Devi replied, "On the coming Bhadrava Sudhi Chaudas, both of you come to my dham in Adhajan village and exactly at midnight offer 7 Shrifals. Ask for whatever you want. I will give you this boon. You will get whatever you desire." Vimal Mantri came home and narrated the entire incident to Sri Devi. They came to a decision and reached the dham of Adhajan Kul Devi at 5 in the evening. There was a lot of time till midnight, so both of them rested below a tree. There was a step well near the tree. Both of them were thirsty. Vimal Mantri had a vessel with him. He started to go down the well. In the meanwhile, he heard a voice. Wait, first pay and then fetch water. Vimal Mantri was shocked after listening to this. He turned around and saw a man standing. The man said, my grandfather had built this step well. Look at what is written on this board. Pay for the water and then take it. Vimal Mantri asked, what? Since when does water cost money? Man replied, this step well belongs to my ancestors. Hence, I own it now. If you want to take water from it, then you will have to pay. In the end, Vimal Mantri had to pay for the water. After this, his mind became turbulent. He started thinking, how can this happen? Some benevolent soul built this step well to help others, and his descendants are making money through it. What kind of kids are these? Sri Devi was standing far away and saw the entire incident. As soon as Vimal Mantri came close, she said, no, instead of having such children, it's better to be childless. If our children would be like them, then they would ruin everything we stand for. What if our children sit outside the temple at Abu and start charging the devotees? No, we do not want such heirs. In this way, both of them decided that they will ask the Devi for a boon to not have children. They sat in front of Devi's idol 2 minutes before the midnight. Right at midnight, they offered 7 Shrifals and a chunri to Devi. Devi appeared and asked Sri Devi, my child, what does your heart desire? Sri Devi said softly, Mother, I want such a boon that we do not have children. Vimal Mantri said, Mother, we ask you to keep us barren. We do not want an heir but stone. On listening to both of them, Devi said, Granted. The temple, Vimal Vasahi, pays tribute to the strength of this couple. It is still adorning the land of Abu. Let's move on to the next story, Bhima Kundalia. Minister Bahad took out a Sangh from Patan to Siddhachal. All the pilgrims of the Sangh had done the yatra of Shatrunjay. Everybody had got the news that Minister Bahad was going to construct a stone temple on Shatrunjay and it would cost lakhs. On this occasion, many rich merchants thought of participating in this task. On thinking about it, many merchants went to Minister Bahad and requested him, you are capable of building a huge temple complex on Shatrunjay, but please let us be a part of this great work. If we cannot build an entire temple, then let us contribute whatever little we can. We know that you will accept our request and give us an opportunity to accumulate punya through this great activity. The minister happily accepted this request. The next day, there was a huge council meeting at the Taleti. There, the minister himself announced, whoever wants to use their wealth in the pious task of building a temple on Shatrunjay, those brothers and sisters can contribute accordingly. Everyone get the amount of your donation noted down at the accountant's desk. After the announcement was over, people started registering their donations. 2 lakh, 1 lakh, 50,000. On seeing the bhavna and Jain Bhakti of the donors, the minister became very happy. In the meanwhile, he looked at the person standing at the side. He was trying to get into the crowd of donors, but due to his soiled clothes, nobody was letting him in. The minister saw that there was an immense bhavna of dan in the heart of this visitor. That is why he sent one of his servants and called this guy to him. He came and did pranam to the minister. Minister asked, Punyashali, what is your name? And where do you stay? Bhima replied, my name is Bhima Kundalia. I live in a nearby village. The minister further inquired, what do you do for a living? Bhima replied, Minister sir, I do not have punya. The bondage of inauspicious karmas have not been broken yet. I do hard labor. I have a cow at home because of which our expenses are met. Minister asked, why have you come here? Bhima replied, while selling the ghee at the market, I got to know that the minister of Gujarat had come here with a grand sangh. After listening to it, I felt like doing the yatra. After returning from the yatra, I got to know that you were constructing a new temple at Giriraj. Even I thought of before Bhima could say anything more. Minister Bahad said, Bhima ji, there should be no shame in donating. Whatever you want to donate, donate with love and affection. Bhima replied, Minister, I had 1 rupee and 7 paise. Out of that, I used 1 rupee for buying flowers and offering them to Bhagwan Adinath. Now I only have 7 paise left. If you would accept such a minuscule amount, then I will consider myself very lucky. On saying this, tears started rolling down his cheeks. Even Bahad's eyes became moist. He happily accepted Bhima's 7 paises and said to his accountant, Munimji, write the name of Bhima Kundalia at the top of the list of donors. After listening to his announcement, everybody was stunned. They began wondering how much Bhima would have donated. That his name is at the top of the list of the donors? Then, while showing Bhima 7 paises in his hand, the minister said, all the council members, see, this is Bhima's entire wealth. He is donating all his wealth. We all donate, but how much? If we have 1 lakh, then we donate 5,000 or maybe 10,000. But Bhima has not kept anything for himself. Without thinking of tomorrow, he is offering all his money at the feet of Prabhu. As per my knowledge, Bhima's donation is admirable and unmatched. Due to Bhima Kundaliya's Prabhu Bhakti and minister's generosity, everyone became very emotional. Blessed be Bhima, blessed be minister. With this, the grand meeting ended. Bhima went to his village and entered his house while smiling. On entering the house, his wife asked him, What's going on? How come you are so happy today? Bhima replied, My beloved, how do I tell you the secret to my happiness? Today, my life has become blessed. Wife asked, What happened? Tell me as well. Bhima narrated the entire incident with a happy mind. Before he could complete his sentence, his wife interrupted. Firstly, you donated your entire earnings and you claim that you have been blessed? How? You did not think about the house. What will we eat in the evening? Then she went to milk the cow angrily, abusing him on the way. The nail that held their cow's rope came out. She started to put it on the ground again. It felt like the nail had hit a vessel. She dug up the soil and found a pot filled with gold coins. On seeing the pot, her anger went away, and she went to Bhima with the pot. She narrated the entire incident to him. On seeing the pot filled with gold, he said, Look at this miracle. This is due to Prabhu's blessings. His wife became very happy and said, Now this gold will get us out of poverty. To this, Bhima replied, No, did you forget the vow to not take what isn't ours? These gold coins are not ours. His wife replied, Then what do we do with these gold coins? Bhima answered, I'll give it to the minister. He will do whatever he sees fit. The next day, Bhima came to the minister with the pot. He placed the gold coin as well as the gold pot at his feet and told him everything. Minister Bahad became very impressed by Bhima's selflessness and the vow to not take anything that wasn't his. He said, Bhimaji, you are great. Your firmness towards your vows is great. You truly are a Mahashravak. You have the ownership of these gold coins. You found them at your house. It is due to your punya, therefore you are its true owner. You take it back. But Bhima refused to accept the gold coins. The minister explained it to him again. But Bhima was not ready to understand. Suddenly, Kapardi Yaksh appeared. Yakshadev said, Bhima, you have gotten this wealth due to your punya. Your inauspicious karmas are over now. I am lovingly giving you this wealth. You keep it. On saying this, Kapardi Yaksh disappeared. Bhima could not deny it anymore. After accepting the minister's hospitality, Bhima eventually returned home with the gold. He narrated the entire incident to his wife. She became very happy and said, My lord, this is due to Sri Adinath Prabhu. His impact is beyond our imagination. There is no doubt about it. It is also the result of your firmness in your vow.